All right, what is going on, guys? Got another breakdown for, or no, excuse me, got a little bit of an early breakdown for UFC 272. This one's on March 5th, but we got Sergey Spivak taking on Greg Hardy at heavyweight. Hardy going to have a 2.5 inch reach advantage. He is 2 inches taller. This one was initially slated for UFC 270. Spivak slid in to replace Alexei Oleinik, who Hardy was initially matched up with, but then Hardy pulled out of that fight with a finger injury, and now it's on UFC 272. So I will start with Greg Hardy, former NFL player, only been training MMA for a few years, but he was a very good defensive end in the NFL, and he got bounced for domestic violence. So here he is, and goes without saying, very good athlete. He's got a lot of physical tools. He cuts a lot of weight to get down to heavyweight, but at the same time, his cardio is not good. I think it's a lot of it has to do with that weight cut. He's just used to being so big from the NFL. But yeah, the gas tank is a real problem with Hardy, and it's leading to a lot of problems in his fights. It's making him very fadeable. Uh, Against Tabora, that's when it was really pronounced. But I picked Tabora in that one because that's when I kind of start to think that the Greg Hardy ride was coming to an end because he was so tired against Maurice Green. Maurice Green no longer with the promotion. Uh, but yeah, just he did not look all that great in the Maurice Green fight. He just emptied the tank trying to get him out of there with ground and pound. Then he was exhausted. Against a better fighter, he would have run into trouble there. And that's kind of the problem with Hardy. They gave him a lot of cans early, and then he gets to these grapplers and he can't really handle them. He gets matched up with Tai Tuivasa and he just gets KO'd. First time being in there with like a big power puncher like that. But on the flip side of it, we gotta analyze things because we're trying to make money. It's not something where you want to be stupid and just like because you dislike Greg Hardy as a person, you want to just throw chalk against him. Like that's dumb. Like don't be that guy. And I don't like Greg Hardy. I'm just saying like it's stupid. But with that said, we gotta look at the positives in Greg Hardy's game, and they gave him a lot of cans early, right? But if you look, a couple of them turned out not to be cans. Like Austin Lane, who he beat on the Contender Series, just beat Juan Adams to get the belt in Fury FC, another opponent of Hardy's who he KO'd early. He may or may not be Zeke Elliott's brother, who knows? But yeah, he KO's Juan Adams in the first round. KO's Austin Lane in the first round. Both of those guys are pretty decent now. But they did give him so many cans. Dmitry Smolyakov, I don't think he had fought for like 3 years when that fight happened. He was like 38. Ben Sassoli, who went to jail because he was working as a bouncer in Australia and he punched somebody. Kind of fucked up, man. But yeah, we don't really know how good he was, but it was a decision win for Hardy. Or no, was that Inhaler Gate? Yeah, that was Inhaler Gate. Gets no contest in that one. Or man, I forgot about the illegal knee. There's the illegal knee and there's Inhaler Gate. So he got DQ'd in one of these fights where there's an illegal knee. That might have been against Alan Crowder, and then he took a hit from his inhaler in the Combat Wombat fight, and they ruled that one a no contest. So it's kind of hilarious. But then he steps in on short notice to fight Alexander Volkov. Just total mismatch. I forget who Volkov was initially matched up with. It might have been Curtis Blades, but that was in Moscow. Greg Hardy comes in short notice, and yeah, he just gets pieced up by Volkov. But a lot of people were giving Hardy a lot of credit in that one, just saying like, "Oh man, look at Greg Hardy. He went the distance with Alexander Volkov." But it's like it felt like Volkov just wasn't trying to get him out of there. Like he knew that he could just stay on the outside and just coast in that fight, and that's what he did. And then Jorgen De Castro, that looked like a good win for a minute, but he gets cut. I think he was on Eagle FC. I didn't see if he won or not. He was a big favorite. But yeah, then it brings us to where we are now. And, stylistically, Hardy, he's got some good offensive weapons. Like, he's got very fast head movement, really good footwork. He's just so fast. He's an NFL athlete. But, yeah, the jab is really snappy, decent combinations. I do like the head movement. He's got good offensive weapons, but he just hasn't been able to handle grapplers at all. and it lends into burning out his already limited gas tank. So yeah, that is kind of the path against Hardy. Wrestle early, but he is dangerous in the first round. I feel like I took way too long to get to that point, but yes, Sergey Spivak. Um, I'll just be real. When I initially looked at this fight, I thought that this was just a no brainer, like Sergey Spivak all day. Um, I forgot that he's not that old. He's like 27, 28. Yeah, he's 27. And he's got a lot of UFC fights under his belt now. A lot of them. He comes in undefeated, loses to Walt Harris right off the bat, whatever. Gets an arm triangle over Tai Tuivasa when Tuivasa was on hard times. Against Marcin Tybura, Tybura's wrestling was more imposing, and Spivak was never able to really do anything. Against Carlos Felipe, he wins that one. Majority decision. I guess one judge gave it to Felipe. I forget. I was watching this one earlier in the week, but yeah, I think the right decision was made. Against Jared Vandera, he gets his wrestling going, ground and pound KO in round two. And then against Alexei Oleinik, a lot of people were picking him to get the finish in that one because I just thought Oleinik's chin was gone, but he got the decision win by just surviving Oleinik. Oh, he's just very tough to deal with. And then of course he gets KO'd by Tom Aspinall, but whatever, it's gonna happen. I think recently though Spivak has really come along. He's starting to do more of what makes him good. He needs to wrestle. He trains with Fedor and his fight team, so he's got good training partners for that. But yeah, on the feet though, he's got deceptively good boxing. He's got a really nice 1-2. He's got a stiff jab. He just keeps himself way too square though. Like I worry about that in this fight. I really do. And I would already make a bet on Spivak. I still might. I'm gonna try to decide this week because I think that the line is pretty decent, but um I just worry about that first round because sometimes he doesn't necessarily I don't want to say he doesn't do a lot, but he doesn't do a lot, man. Like he'll just walk forward and not do anything. He'll just be really square. And when he does throw a 1-2, it's just like, few and far between. He's got decent counters, but I think that Hardy's head movement is going to be good enough to not get countered by Sergey Spivak. It's not like he has great counters. So Spivak is going to have to just try to wrestle right away. That's what's going to come down to it. Minus 178, I really want to bet Spivak in this spot, but there's just a part of me that worries that Hardy knocks him out in the first round because, like I said, we got to give respect to Hardy's offensive weapons. We look at some of his earlier opponents, and they've come along. And then his last two losses are to, ranked fighters. Tai Tuivasa pushing his way up towards the top five. That's his last loss, and he wobbled him. He had him hurt for a minute there, and then Tuivasa caught him with a counter. But yeah, man, I do want to bet Spivak. Part of me feels like this line is a gift, but be wary of Greg Hardy by knockout in the first round. So we got time to decide on this. I just want to get this early upload up where I see him. So thanks for watching, guys. Sure to subscribe and take it easy.